Hello guys and welcome to a new video. This is Stalker Airsoft and today we're going to show you how to install this SSG-10 VSR-10 Hopup Chamber. We're going to grab the bucking. This is supplied with your kit and we're going to install it on our Morpheus barrel. That is not with your kit but for sale separately. So this bucking is a double wing, dual wing. And this hop-up system is also made that it could accept dual wing buckings like the Kraken bucking, our Stalker Kraken bucking, or it can just use normal GBB buckings with one little wing here. But this gives an advantage over the other standard buckings because this cannot twist to the left and right in your hop-up chamber. So let's take your hop-up chamber. And we're going to check the side slots here and here and make sure our bucking goes in. You can peek in the window if your bucking sits correctly. Then you take the spacer and at the end of the spacer there are two holes and you got two little grub screws in your packet. So you take these grub screws and pre-install them a little bit. Once you pre-install them, you can now slide the spacer inside the hop-up chamber. Then you can hold the spacer with two fingers and install these screws inside the hop-up chamber. Just switch among them. Just make sure it's hand tight, with finger tight I mean. And then switch the screws until you got an even tightening process. So if you use a brass barrel, then watch out that you don't over tighten these screws because brass barrels are prone to denting. And when you use our Morpheus steel barrel or the Morpheus carbon barrel, it doesn't matter, because you can tighten them really tight because the screws are not so strong. The barrel is much stronger. The Morpheus is a really good barrel and we recommend to pair them with this hop-up chamber because all the parts we made are made for each other, so they fit perfectly on each other, like this spacer here. You see this around the barrel, like all other barrels have different outer diameters, so we make the spacer for the barrel and the spacer for the hop unit, so you don't have any wobble inside your chamber and barrel, so everything is straight and sits perfectly. Okay, so once we have done this, we take the BB stopper, we drop it in the kit like that, and you got a little knob and you take the concave shape that's going to the bottom and the hole is going to the top, and you put it in. If you don't get it in, just use a little tool like that. Perfectly installed. So once you got this set installed, then you got a little spring for the BB stopper and you got this top cover plate. So what we do first is we take the little spring and we're going to install this on the spring guide on the top cover. So now it's stuck on the cover, it won't fall out. Now you can install this complete plate inside the hop-up chamber with the spring in the BB stopper, like that. Now you push with your thumb and you click the plate in. Now you have 6 little screws inside the package, and you take one screw and put one in one corner. Now you can use these small screwdrivers or an hex key, but we're using proper tools. and now you can just tighten this little screw inside the Hopup chamber. So just don't over tight, just hand tight is enough, but keep pressure on the plate. Now you switch to the other side and screw one in the other corner. Okay. Keep pressure on the plate because the spring is underneath there. So just hand tight is enough. Once you have installed these two screws, you can remove your thumb and it's all set. And now you got one screw here and one screw there. So you can now finish, just cross screw them. So it's important to tighten them all and tighten them one by one in opposite direction. So once you've got this, everything assembled, you can tighten these little screws on the side of the inner barrel. Again, do this hand tight if you have a brass barrel, because it will bend. If you have the Morpheus barrel like this, you can tighten them really tight. And now we can move on to the cylinder head. So let's install the cylinder head. We have the cylinder head, we have an O-ring, we have a piston bumper rubber, and we have two top rubbers that will come in here in the front. So what we do is we install this O-ring, put it around the cylinder head, install it. So now we're going to install the bumper pad inside the cylinder head. So we take some instant glue, super glue from TSA, Bison, there are some other brands. I'm using TSA. So we're going to install this super glue inside the cylinder head, and what we're going to do is we're going around the cylinder head, in the edge, in the corner, just a little bit. And once we have done that, then we make sure it's going to sit on the surface there, just a little bit. And then once we reach the middle, we quit. Okay, so make sure it's in the corners and on this side. So once we've done that, we pick the green pad and we place it inside, and then you put it down and let it dry. Once this is dried, you can install these front rubber pads, and you just take off this 3M paper, and there's a sticky side that will go inside this cylinder head. Once it's inside there, take the other one. That's it. There you got the cylinder head with the top bumper rubbers and the lower bumper rubber for the piston. It's ready to install. These little holes inside the cylinder head will accept our tool 001, and it's a cylinder head tool. It's made for TAC 41 and also for this cylinder head. This will fit as well, and it will be a little bit more handy to use the tool to tighten the cylinder head and open it and stuff like that, so you don't have to use pliers. So that's a little extra information. And right here we have the ST bump 001, we have the bump 002 and the ST bump 003, and these are replacements for this rubber here, and you can change the sizes. So if you want a thicker size, you take the 002. If you want an even more thicker size, you take the 003. But this inside here is the 001. So that's the green pad over there. The colors are different shores or hardness, and you can check everything on the web shop in the description. There's everything, all the info for the bumper pads. But this is a little extra information. Sometimes people destroy this with a 4 joule spring or something like this, and so I want to have replacements for all my parts. So that's why you can buy it separately. So yeah, the installation of the hop-up unit is complete. It's ready for installation in the outer barrel. This is something you got in your package as well. It's the drill spacer with a screw inside. So we're going to disassemble the screw and take your outer barrel, put the drill tool in. As you can see, this little hole aligned with that hole of your outer barrel, and then we take the little screw again and we're going to tighten the drill tool to the outer barrel, and then you can drill a perfect hole by using a drill inside here. And you can drill a perfect hole for your TDC bracket and your wheel. Once you've drilled a hole, then we're going to disassemble the tool again and remove the tool. You can keep it in your stash. And then we're going to install the hop-up chamber. So that the hole is aligned with this little hole there. Okay. Then we can choose if we want to install the mag shim. If you're going to install it like this. And then we take the hopper block and put it on top of it. And we take the stock screw from your outer barrel and we put it in that hole. And we take this extra screw that you got in your package with this hopper, and we use it on the side of the mag shim. Okay. In this case, I'm using another screw of us, but you can just use your stock screw. Drop it in there and tighten the hopper block. So once you've put your stock screw in there, your hopper block is all set with your mag shim underneath, so everything is ready. But you just need to install the TDC bracket with the wheel and the screw and stuff like that. So we've made a special screw for this set, and this screw is threaded and it has a hole inside through the screw to accept the hop-up wheel. So now you got 5 parts left, and it's the little clicker ball screw. You've got the screw to tighten this piece on the outer barrel, and you got the hop wheel, and you got an O-ring. So with this O-ring you can choose if you want to play with an O-ring and not with a clicker system, or you can use the clicker system and leave the O-ring in your package, or if you want you can use both. In this case I'm going to install the clicker ball screw and leave the O-ring inside the package. So I advise to use Loctite Red on these screws. So I'm getting the little clicker ball screw and just put a little bit on the side of the screw. Like that, is enough. And then I'm going to install it inside the bracket, and you can see the little silver ball plunger sticking out a bit, and just leave it like that. Then we're going to put it on our outer barrel, and this version doesn't use any 3M tape or whatever, because I think when you use 3M tape it still can twist, go to the front or the back or to the left and the right. So we don't use 3M tape, but we use this design, a special design with this screw to make sure this piece is very straight on your outer barrel. So we take this little screw and we're going to put some Loctite on it, just on the outside. Just go around a bit. Then we're going to put it inside the TDC bracket, like that. And we push with our finger on there, and we can just hand tighten it a little bit. Then take a screwdriver and keep this TDC bracket a little bit straight until the screw locks it by itself and the outer barrel curving, of course. And then you tighten it and let it dry. Now the hop-up wheel is the only thing we have left, and we can just screw it in. Now you see that there is no clicker system active, so you now have time to adjust this little screw until your clicking system works. So that's it. Once you've installed this, you need to let it dry for some time. Basically, that's it. Now you can install this outer barrel in your SSG-10 or VSR-10, and happy shooting!